On today's episode, it's a very special episode because I'm sharing some very cool stories of how we met some of these celebrities that we worked with across 5'4" and Young and Reckless. It's really interesting to share these stories today because they happened so long ago. But where we met guys like Chris Paul, Machine Gun Kelly, Post Malone, Corey Monteith, who actually passed away from Glee. Uh, Amazing stories, how we built friendships, built relationships, and then we built these great brands with them. And they were instrumental at different points of our brand's growth. And I'm going to tell you how to do it. It's really great if you are looking to build relationships with celebrities or influencers for your product, service, or brand. And thank you for everyone that's been posting and sharing the Detour episodes. I truly appreciate it. We are picking some winners this week with the Menlo Club products. So keep screenshotting, keep sharing. And I'm also going to start gifting some shoes. We have so many cool new products on New Republic that I want people to get exposed to. And if you're a woman, if you have a husband, a boyfriend, a father, a son, a best friend, we'll hook him up too. We're about to launch women's in a lot of our brands in the next coming months. So I got you ladies. Just stay patient with me. So today we're talking about something that I have a lot of experience in, and we got a lot of people asking about it, which was how to deal with celebrity collaborations. How do you find the right partner in a celebrity? How do you actually manifest those types of things? I have a lot of interesting stories. So we've worked between all the brands. I've worked with people like Chris Paul, Post Malone, Meek Mill, Machine Gun Kelly, ASAP Ferg, there's a long list of people for 5'4" that I can't remember at the top of my head right now, but we've worked with some of the biggest talent celebrities in the world. And one of the things that I learned early on when thinking about a celebrity relationship or partnership is one, there has to be an authentic affinity for the brand by the talent. So, I'll give you an example. When we were doing early days of Young and Reckless, our marketing director, Kevin, comes to us and shows us a music video of Machine Gun Kelly. He was this independent artist in Cleveland, and he was like, this guy's going to be a big star. We watched his video, we started listening to his music, and we were just naturally fans of what he was doing. Fast forward, we facilitated introduction. We meet him. He loved drama, grew up watching him on television. He was already a fan of Young and Reckless. His audience was a fan of Young and Reckless. And we were able to build this incredible organic partnership for Lace Up, which was his brand at the time of merch, and Young and Reckless. We went on to sell a lot of clothing, a lot of apparel. It was great partnership both for the brand and for him. And we did billboards, we did a ton of marketing, and it was a fantastic relationship. And that was a great example of it was just the perfect fit. And I think a lot of times people have this feeling that, oh, I have this X product and that person's perfect for me. Sure, your intuition lends you to think that that particular celebrity or influencer is a right fit for your product, but they have to be passionate about what you're doing, the same passion you have. They have to have a very similar audience to your product, and they have to be easy to work with. If they don't check those boxes, you really can't work with them. And there's been situations where we've worked with celebrities or artists that we thought was perfect. We paid them an enormous amount of money, and the conversion was very low because it didn't look like it was authentic. They didn't naturally wear the product when they weren't being paid to. They weren't really fans of what we were doing before. They were aware of the business or the brand, but they were, oh, this is just a monetizing opportunity for me, not a authentic, perfect relationship. And that really is the key to building these types of businesses. Uh, I'll give you an example with Chris Paul and 5'4". Chris Paul randomly called our office probably 7, 8, I don't know, probably even 10 years ago, looking for a particular pair of jeans. My business partner realizes it's Chris Paul because our customer service person let us know. Got on the phone with them and said, "How can we help you?" Got him the clothes, and we just said, "Hey, we'd love to meet you." He goes, "I'm a huge fan of the brand," and we're like, We're huge fans of yours." He had just came to LA to the Clippers. We go have lunch, completely hit it off, and we try to do something with him immediately. At the time, he was uh, a big Nike Jordan athlete, and it precluded him for doing any partnerships with any brands. But we continued to give him product. He continued to wear it. Many years later, I got a phone call saying, "Hey, I've carved you guys out in my new deal. Let's go do something." And we did it. We went and built this amazing partnership, and we actually had a lot of success selling the product. It was a big campaign. We did TV commercials, billboards, and it was a great marketing moment for both of us. But that took 5, 7 years to get to that point. We had just built an authentic relationship with him, and it was an easy transition into building a business. Most of the times, big corporate America people, they're like, "This guy is perfect for us," or "This lady is perfect for us." And they just go pay them a bunch of money and in the hopes that that will convert sales. It rarely does. I would say most of those partnerships and relationships fail. For small businesses, you don't have the luxury of spending that kind of money. So it's very important to find influencers or celebrities that naturally love what you are doing. And they are out there. You just have to put the work in. You have to get out there and seed the product. If there's people you want to use or wear your product, get it to them. Figure it out. It's not that hard. If you want to do business with them, then that should happen in a natural way. If you force it, it often doesn't work. And really interesting story. Uh, I was at South by Southwest. Young and Reckless had a South by Southwest event, and we did it with Nas. He was hosting the Live at the Barbecue with Mass Appeal, and we were the sponsor. Nas is a very close friend. Mass Appeal is a very close friend. So we end up sponsoring this with the intention of like we want access to the up and coming artists. So they have this amazing roster, amazing lineup of people all day. I'm sitting backstage. I'm hanging out with Nas, just whatever. And this the way South by Southwest music works is you have a roster, but like artists are just popping into different showcases and they're looking to perform their song, do a set, and just surprise the audience. And there was a young kid that I had heard on SoundCloud, and I was obsessed with his music. My friend Anthony turned me on to him, and he was just bubbling. And he had a song called White Iverson, and his name was Post Malone. And the manager comes in and goes, "Hey, Post Malone wants to come out and perform." Massive people say, "Yeah, sure, you can come and do one song." He goes and does White Iverson. He's getting off the stage. I literally go up to him and I'm like, "Hey, man, a huge fan. Partners with Drama on Young and Reckless. You're perfect for our brand. Let's do something." Gives me his information. Literally 2 days later, they're back in LA. Him and his manager, Dre, end up in our office. Instantly hit it off because he had grown up wearing Young and Reckless. And he was like, "I want to do something." I think we finalized the deal within a week or two. We had billboards around LA. He did a photo shoot. We paid him a little bit of money. And it was this amazing partnership and relationship. We captured Post at the beginning of his career. And specifically, Young and Reckless has done an incredible job of highlighting these artists in the early stage of their career and partnering with them. And that's what it's really about. For you and I running smaller businesses, and there are times where I've written pretty large checks to work with a piece of talent, and those have been the most unsuccessful marketing collaborations. The ones where we have met people early on, those have been home runs. And that's what I encourage you to do. If you want to go work with Post Malone today, you're too fucking late. It's not happening. Unless you're going to write him a $10 million check, he's not interested in working with you. You need to go find the relevant influencer or celebrity early in their career, support them, and they will support you. There are so many examples of this all over branded marketing kind of history where artist and brand have collaborated early on and both have risen and had massive amounts of success. This has to be a two-way street. So really, it can be done even for a small brand. I know very small brands that have lucked up and worked with major artists. And it's about building that relationship early on. It's about being personable. People also only work with people they like. No matter how great your product or your brand is, if you're unfucking likable, no one's going to work with you. So make sure you're likable. If you don't know, look at your social circle. If you don't look like you have a lot of friends, you're probably unlikable. So take the time, develop these personal relationships with people, and don't be so pushy. Things don't happen overnight. Most of these things, you meet someone at a bar, you connect, go have lunch, they come to your office. 2 years later, they're doing business with you. The last story I'm going to share with you it's a really special one. A friend of mine, Justin, who it was a friend today, but at the time, he was a bar back at Hwood Property, which is the hospitality group in LA. And they had this club that I used to go to all the time because my friends owned it. I go to the club one day, and the bar back, he's the guy that's assisting the bartender. He comes up to me, he goes, "Hey man, you own 5-4, right? I go to all your sample sales. I love your brand and love your product." And 5-4 was notorious to have these annual sample sales. And my partner and I would hang out there, meet the customers. And it was like this big like moment. We'd play music. We'd, be playing football and hanging out. It was just a really fun time. Justin used to come to this sample sale. And I give him my info. And I go, "If you ever need anything, hit me up." And he's like, "All good, man, but thank you." Guy never hits me up. Year goes by. He goes, "Hey, I have a friend just moved to town. He has a big audition. He needs some gear. Can you hook him up?" I'm like, "I got you. Send your friend over." Sends his friend over. Guy from Canada. He needed some clothes. And I end up giving him the gear. We end up talking. We're hitting it off. He's like, "Oh, I have a date tonight. Do you recommend any restaurants?" I give him some restaurants. Sweetest guy. I'm like, "Good luck with your audition." Months go by. He hits me up and he goes, "Hey man, you gave me clothes when I literally didn't have any money. I appreciate it. The premiere of that show I was auditioning for is happening. I would love for you to come." I'm like, "Great." So he invites me to Santa Monica High School. It's a huge production. I was like, "Damn, what kind of show did this guy get on?" I watched the show. He comes and says hi. And I'm like, "Oh my God, you're going to be a superstar." He was the star of Glee. His name was Corey Monteith. And Corey, we all go back to his house. We after party. We have a great time. Becomes a good friend. And Justin, who introduced me, was his best friend. And I hit up Justin and Corey. And I was like, "Hey, would you do a photo shoot and campaign for us?" This is before Glee had even come up. He goes, "Of course. You held it down for me first." Did a whole photo shoot campaign. We waited till the TV show came out. 3 weeks later, we released the campaign. Us Weekly, People Magazine, you name it. We were literally everywhere globally. This was the biggest show on television when it came out. And all because I was nice to a bar back at a bar one night that happened. And people always think that, "Oh, you know all these celebrities, you can just make it happen." But I put in the work. I put in the relationship. I put in the time to talk to people and build relationships. It's why I'm doing what I do with the Run Club and why I do with the meetups. I'm putting in work for my future. And most people think it just happens with the snap of a finger. But this is years in the making of these relationships. So if you want to have these celebrity partnerships and collaborations, put in the work.